I was asked recently about the kinds of wildlife out here on the trail so far, and I've thought about that quite a bit. It's surprising to me, anyhow, as a Midwesterner, how little wildlife I have actually seen. I'm used to in the Midwest, if you pay attention while you're walking around, you're going to see something. I mean, maybe as simple as some birds flying around or squirrels. But out here, I seldom see more than the occasional little lizard. In the first part of the trail, not so much recently, but early on, it was standard to see holes in the ground on the trail, alongside the trail. They might be anywhere from 2 to 4 inches in diameter. I'm guessing it's some kind of a ground squirrel or I don't know what all else would make that. In the Midwest, I'd say gopher, but I don't know that they have gophers here. But maybe they do, I don't know. Anyhow, saw lots and lots of holes, but almost never did I see the occupant. A couple times, if you were looking up, you'd see up ahead some small four-legged creature with a tail brush across the trail 20 yards ahead of you, but they would be gone. They don't wait to see what you're going to do when you get there. They're long gone by the time you get there. I see lots of lizards, little lizards, like gecko size. I'm familiar with geckos from time that I've spent in Hawaii. These are not Hawaiian geckos for certain. They're brown or gray. I don't know species at all, but lots of those. Today I've been seeing more larger lizards, maybe 3 times the size of a gecko, still small and very shy. They look at you as you're coming up towards them, and if you happen to glance at them, they're going to run. I've heard probably half a dozen different species of birds. I can differentiate them by their call, not because I know what they are, but I can tell one call from another. I've seen one bird that looked like a chickadee, and I saw one smallish woodpecker. As I was coming down the trail this morning, Shepherd paused for a moment and reminded me, with the heat that we're experiencing now, that I need to be on the lookout for rattlesnakes. I hadn't thought of that prior to her warning, but of course she's right. This is rattlesnake country, and this is the kind of weather that they would like to be out in. The only other evidence of wildlife, well, I guess I did have a video where it was probably mountain lion tracks. Haven't seen, and probably never will see, the actual cat behind tracks like that. It was pretty common earlier on the trail to see 2 different kinds of scat that looked to be, I'll say, cat size or small dog size. One was always full of berry seeds, and the other was not. Again, my context is the Midwest, so the one full of berries I would equate to probably a fox that's having an omnivorous diet. The other one, because I know, have been told that there are bobcats on trail or around this part of the country, I would guess the other non-berry scat is probably a small cat like that, but I know very little about identifying animals, so take that as a wild guess. So, looks like a little challenge here. I'll end my thought there, but it will be comforting in the future, feel more like home when I get further along the trail and some of the wildlife starts to become more plentiful and maybe recognizable to me. I think I see something up ahead. What is it up here on this rock? I wonder. It is. Not sure how you can see, how well you can see that. There we go. 200 miles. That's a huge achievement for me. I don't think I've ever hiked more than not even 100 miles in any one given trip. 200 miles is a big deal for me. Many more to go, but the only way to get there is to keep making progress. Just wanted to give a quick update on the trail. Things have changed since this morning when you were seeing the easy, flat, sandy walk. It's now getting much more rocky and jagged. Still totally reasonable for walking, but it does slow me down. Here's the trail that I just came from. I've been exposed all day today. The sun's been very hot. You can probably hear it in my voice. I found this wonderful old rock providing some shade. First decent shade I've seen in a couple hours. Taking a little break, drinking some water, and then pushing on. I have about 45 minutes to the next water source. Way down there is the I-10. I should be down there before the end of the day today. Then we'll think about where to camp. I guess this is the ghost story conclusion to my day. I'm not sure how to turn a light on. It's about 10 after 8. I'm usually sound asleep by now, but that last view was the I-10 underpass. Pretty much saved my life today. I was hiking in up to 96 degrees. There was water, which was critical, but you can't spend all day in that exposed heat without suffering a bit. So I think I was getting a little bit of a headache. I think I was getting towards heat exhaustion. We got to that underpass with shade, and there was a trail angel had trail magic under there. I just sat and cooled down, drank more water, electrolytes, and pretty much fully recovered after an hour or so there. We did decide to continue up trail a couple miles to get away from the noise and potential nighttime visitors. So it's a little bit later tonight, but I'm cooled down, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna sleep very well tonight and hit the trail a little bit early tomorrow before the next day's heat comes on. Good night.